Alrighty, welcome back as number 8 Syracuse takes on number 21, sorry, Texas A&M. They just picked off UCF in Game 5 after another Big 12 SEC battle there as A&M comes out on top. They're 1-0 here going into the night as Syracuse 0-0. Their first game of the season. Dronas, expectations in predictions here?
I mean, Syracuse, they are a very scary team. I'm expecting them to be very dangerous, but Texas A&M, I mean, that's one of the benefits of playing your series back to back in one night. You can ultimately get one win, keep the momentum rolling. It can be a little bit of a gamble if you lose. Sometimes it's tough to kind of bring it back, but they got win number 1. Now we can see if they can go 2-0 and might give them that extra bit of a push versus Cuse.
Absolutely, but against Syracuse again, I think they went to the Sweet 16 as well last season. Lead top 16.
Yep.
Yep, they did. Again, they looked very good last season. The second semester here together, and obviously Kababy and Tiz as substitutes if needed in emergency situations. But another really good team here at Syracuse alongside the top roster with Russell and Tiz Kababy. I mean, they've had a lot of success in CCS in the past, and it should continue here this spring.
Yeah, no, I'm expecting them to be very strong. I mean, they always are such a very solid team. They can always compete, can always make it kind of to that later-ish playoff stage. As you know, last season they were able to take down RMU round 1, then took down Southern Illinois Edwardsville. That was a solid 4-1 win before eventually falling to the national runner-ups in Ball State. But had a good showing, and I'm expecting them to come out strong in season 8. Texas A&M, I think they're going to have their hands full to begin.
A&M's gonna have their hands full for sure. I mean, this is a brand new roster. It's still very early. A lot of expectations for this season from Carson Miku. I mean, he really believes in this roster, which, again, we'll see if the season goes. They missed the tournament last semester, so we'll see if they can bounce back and qualify here this spring.
No, yeah, Carson Muku is ultimately just a great guy. Been around CCS a while and has always just kind of been a really solid guy, and always seemed to believe in his teams, and always, honestly, every time he talks about Texas A&M, always gets me hyped up to see the Aggies play, and he's done the exact same. I'm excited to see what they can bring here in season 8, especially against a team like Syracuse early on.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun one. I'm excited. Again, it's been a lot of fun to be back with you here tonight, and we're excited about what the season's going to bring here to the CCS community. We're underway here in Game 1. Syracuse A&M FCC ACC battle here to open up kickoff here in Week 1.
Yeah, we had a great first series to open things up in the 1-5 battle, and now this one looking to be very interesting, as well as Uzon will immediately just boom it all the way down the field, and it's Texas A&M wasting no time.
As A&M finds one here, 14 seconds in, and it's Uzon from the first from the Aggies.
Yeah, able to really just to boom it quickly down the floor. Syracuse were not ready one bit, and now Kursune Muku right off the kickoff crossbar and out. Follow-up no good. That'll give a little bit of room for Syracuse to try and work off the corner from Nano. Uzon snaps it away. A little bit of a team bump for the Aggies, really trying to recuperate. Miku off the corner. Now 50 will go towards Nano, lets it go, and it looks like Syracuse will rotate all the way back into their corner, and A&M look to try and punish.
4:17 left to play. Aquasteer Nano double quit is going to be no good off the pitch that they were looking for there, but first minute almost has come and gone in Game 1, and A&M's doing a pretty good job so far here maintaining pressure, but also kind of keeping Syracuse off the front end. A double pit's going to lead to an opportunity here for Syracuse, goes just wide left.
Maybe a follow-up. No, Carson and Miku is going to be there playing for the 50 with no boost. Better in stereo, which is a terrific name, I might add. Ultimately, we have some great names out of the side of Texas A&M. Better in stereo, Kursune Miku alongside Uzon, and really looking to bring this team together. But a big demo there from Aquasteer. 50 up high. Kursune Miku is able to play it out to Uzon. Aquasteer keeping this one in front for the Orange. Neal, soft touch is going to be once again boomed away well by Texas A&M, and really so far haven't seen too many threatening looks out of Syracuse.
I mean, Arsene Nuku's talked a lot this offseason about his expectations and how much he believes in this roster, and I think you're seeing that kind of come to fruition early on here. And again, they just beat UCF in Game 5, and UCF again is unranked, so Syracuse ranked 8th, their first ranked opponent of this season. This would be a monumental win to kick off week 1 here. It'd be 2-0 with the win over UCF in Syracuse.
Yeah, I have high expectations for really both these teams. Cuse a little bit more so, but Texas A&M, they're one of those teams where just have such a great core guys that I am always willing to be surprised with their success, and we very well might see it here tonight. Nano trying to play the low 50 and pass. Now Niels fires. Karsune Miku getting chased down, shakes off the bump and makes the squishy save.
Game 1 continues on, 2:22 to go, as Syracuse still trailing 1, and again A&M, the defense has been stellar. We're only halfway in here into Game 1, but Syracuse double demo on target's good for 1. There's the equalizer.
Yeah, and ultimately it looks like Syracuse went a little bit too long without putting one away, and you can just see the demo started to come out, left things wide open for the boom from Nano. Evened up early on. Still a lot of time left in this one, and Texas A&M, we'll see if they can steer it right back, or if this one will kind of open those floodgates for Syracuse.
2-minute warning here in game number 1, 1-0. With 2 minutes on the clock, Akron again coming off win over Indiana. If you missed out on the earlier part of the broadcast, and now you're just now joining us, number 8 Syracuse, number 21 Texas A&M, going head-to-head in the top 25 battle, all tied at 1 here late on in game 1.
Yeah, Texas A&M, they're one of those teams that, and I always seem to have a lot of faith in. I don't know if that's just because of Karsune Miku and his faith in himself and in his roster kind of just stirs a little up, and I always seem to want this team to do really strong, and they are having themselves a great showing as the 50 followed up by Uzon, and suddenly lead back in the hands of Texas A&M.
1 minute 25 seconds it does on goal 2. I believe that is his second of the series. So he's got 2 now on hat-trick watch for the last 85.
Yeah, 2 of 2. Better in stereo. Got the assist off the 50 help. Now Neil sees Nano towards the backside. Uzon spots him as well. Rips that shot away. Gets a good 50 versus Aquasteer now. Better in stereo using all of that boost to win it into the corner. Karsune Miku can't find the first touch. Can't find a 50. Uzon reset. Trying to use it to recover. And you can see the Aggies all over Syracuse. Do not want to give them a moment to recover and get out of their own side.
Uzon trying to play his way through the defense here. It's Karsune Miku back round 1. Back down for Better in stereo. It's good for 3. There's a 2-goal lead.
And Better in stereo capitalizing. Ultimately, this sequence just kind of all over the place. Aquasteer got way too caught up, and then Nano, not much you can do from that angle. And Karsune Miku setting it up well, and Better in stereo just there to clean it up with a big 50.
Not a lot of clock left to go in game 1, just 45 seconds. As Syracuse now trailing 2, almost 3 here. Is Nano back in time? And again, Jones, this is a roster that went to the Sweet 16 last season. They are in trouble with A&M here early on in the series, but you know, A&M's offense has looked very, very good. This could be a season where maybe A&M goes where it's never gone before.
Yeah, I think the best thing that we're seeing right now, probably my favorite thing, is that Texas A&M are not playing with any fear. They are going straight at Syracuse, no remorse. And you know, you look at where these teams got ranked, and you look at the history. This team, of course, from A&M being more fresh, not making the tournament last season. Syracuse were a top 16 team. You look at that and be like, well, it's Syracuse. They got to take it. And A&M maybe saw those rankings as well, and they are not afraid of the orange whatsoever. We will see Aquasteer and Syracuse pick up one more, but it's Texas A&M who win game 1.
3-2 the final score. Syracuse do get 1 for the row, but not enough to send us to overtime as Texas A&M win game 1. We go on to game 2 with an Aggie lead at 1-0.
Yeah, Uzon ultimately taking that MVP, picking up 2 of the 5 saves and having both early goals, and Better in stereo cleaning up the third. It's Syracuse looking to see them stay a little bit more efficient against. Still saw a little bit of awkwardness on defense from the Orange, and Texas A&M, I think they noticed that somewhat earlier. If they were kind of able to keep their foot on the gas pedal, keep Cuse backed up, they didn't look too comfy, and I think they're going to keep trying to do that.
Absolutely. And again, it feels like, we're seeing, I wouldn't even really know if I'd call A&M, a heavy underdog, but you definitely have higher expectations for Syracuse and what this roster has accomplished before. But A&M, again, their best performance is a Sweet 16 from the Elite 2 seasons ago, back when NAU went to the Elite 8 against Missouri. But that was probably the best season they've had when they picked off James Madison, that upset in the opening round of 32 that season. So again, this could be a season where maybe A&M finds their way onto a top 8.
Yeah, very well could happen, and want to see how they're able to try and close out this series. You can always get one. Game one is always possible, but if you're able to get it done consistently, that's where great teams really show themselves and have to try and defend this one. And the shot is off target from Nano. Now Niels will have a go, takes it around the corner, better in stereo. Great patience on the backboard off the corner, maybe a double from Nano, no good. Uzon, big clear, better in stereo, lurking, can he turn it on target off the backboard for Karsune Miku, taken away by Nano.
4:05 to go, was on. Back to center field, around one. Now better in stereo, looking to get around a third here. It finds a bump, but to no avail. Back to the left corner we go. Syracuse A&M still even at 0.
Starting to see that bump chase a little more as Aquasteer lurked up field with low boost, and did see that in game one quite a bit from Syracuse. We're able to take advantage, getting that first goal because of it. As Karsune Miku, a little bit of an awkward touch. Aquasteer lobs on forward. Miku still on it, and we'll head to the sidewall. Now mistouch from Niels in transition. Karsune Miku, no boost to punish, and have seen both teams in those uncomfortable spots really not able to take advantage, and the defenses have been limiting as well.
3:18 to go. Now Karsune Miku back around up top, looking for a double. No good to drop down. Also unable to go is better in stereo, trying to put a rebound back on target. Will not connect there. Nano back on control as Syracuse goes the other way, still tied at 0.
That one a little bit more threatening than maybe the Aggies wanted, as Nano was able to take it all the way downfield and almost snap a shot on there. Now maybe a look here. No one playing up too close there for Syracuse. Would like to see the Orange maybe stay a little bit more presence, have a little bit more aggressiveness with those first two guys on the pitch as Miku goes off the corner. Now we'll see the transition happen, and once again it's Miko to better in stereo, and off the corner, just a quick shot to the near side corner.
Karsune Miku gonna get this off. It started again. 2:39 to go, and in a season that feels like a weekend SEC. I mean, you're gonna have Florida obviously to have to deal with later on if you're A&M, but beyond Florida, I mean, the SEC is kind of wide open for second place. I mean, there's a brand new Tennessee roster. South Carolina dropped to their B team. Georgia now has TJ again. I mean, there's still a lot of question marks to be answered this season, but that number 2 spot really still feels wide open.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, honestly, I think all around, besides the number 1 seed out of the SEC, I think it's going to be one of the most interesting conferences to watch. I think, of course, Florida are the favorites. I'm expecting them to, of course, make the tournament. I would expect them to be conference champs, but it's one of those things where if time goes on and I am proved wrong, I would be more than happy to see that. It's one of those things. I'm not happy being wrong, nation. I would just love to see something intriguing, something interesting happen. And if any of these teams from the SEC were able to down the Florida Gators, that would for sure be an interesting story.
Well, South Carolina picked them off in the semifinal last season. They didn't even make the conference championship game last fall. So again, they still very well could lose, but I would agree, yes, Florida are heavy favorites to win the SEC again. But we will have to wait and see how the semester goes. But I think the SEC will be fun to watch for really a second place competition behind Florida, who should again win the SEC. But it's CCS. At the end of the day, we're not going to know till the games are played, and that's why we watch.
Yeah, we've seen insane upsets happen before. It has been no stretch of the imagination that those big changes can happen. Teams who look the best can lose, and teams who sometimes look at their worst can thrive under such conditions. And you know, this is a Texas A&M team that I would love to see put the Gators on the ropes.
Absolutely. You know, looking at the other side of this field, Syracuse entering another very, very good ACC season. Clemson coming off as tournament champions last season. Now, new to the league is Virginia with an SSL and 2 GC3. So they're going to be fun to watch as well, I believe. There's Virginia Tech, who's ranked within the top 10. Florida State should be a bit better this semester. I believe also they're going to deal with North Carolina, NC State. So lots of good competition. Pittsburgh's a new roster. Again, lots of good teams in the ACC, but it's 2-0, and A&M pick up goal 2.
Yeah, and if you do want to see Cuse compete with that high level of competition, they're going to need to make better stops than this, as no one could get to better in stereo at the midfield, and puts that one top shelf to extend the lead, and very well might try and secure this win as Aquasteer tries to get it over to Niels. It was turned away again. Low boost on the side of the Aggies. Nano, no double. Uzon pops it up. That's a dangerous ball up front. No one can get it down on target. It hits the floor, and Texas A&M, they're searching for a sweep here.
This is, you know, about as good of a start as you want. You mentioned back in game 1. Well, one game is one game, but can you do it twice? They've gotten it done now twice going into game 3. Now on the brink of a sweep over number 8 Syracuse.
Okay, they can do it 2 times, but can they do it 3 times? As we'll see if they can get the sweep done. Ultimately, this would be, again, it wouldn't be the most drastic upset we've ever seen, but it would be very solid. Again, we're looking at 21 versus number 8 in the rankings right now, as that would be a pretty solid change, and the Aggies 1 game away, 5 minutes from doing it. We'll see if they can keep it up, and off the kickoff already looking threatening, but Nano there to take it away.
Just for the record, me and you both had Syracuse ranked 8 entering the season. I had A&M at 18, you had A&M at 19. Now they are ranked 21 after the aggregate rankings from the selection committee. But now again, a game away from an upset over a number 8 Syracuse ranked team that's going to be sure to fall shall they stumble tonight.
Yeah, would definitely move up much higher in that ranking, as again, it's one of those things would love to see it as a good passing between Uzon and Karsune. Miku does get a second touch off the grass. Now Uzon middle, better in stereo there. Niels has no boost, but better in stereo. Thought he had a little bit of a touch in him, played for it, and now transition is going to go the way of the orange off the back wall. Another good 50 from Niels. Uzon just looking to extend this through the corner. Does dodge the bump. Gets bumped for his air dribble. Karsune Miku extends down the field. No double. Maybe another swift transition. Uzon last back in the 2v1.
And Uzon really feels like, you know, the elevator of this A&M roster. He's been all around the pitch tonight. We've been talking about him all night long, it feels like. It, you know, it doesn't really get any easier if you're Syracuse, because up next is number 11 Cincinnati later on this week, so it really doesn't get much easier after this A&M series, and a double attempt is also turned away.
That was a good save from Aquasteer right off of the top of Niels to make the transition happen, and Karsune Miku wanted to get a little bit of a highlight to start. Is now a good pass here. Uzon plays it around, delays the touch, and takes the lead for A&M once again.
Karsune Miku's pop there, kind of putting Nano in no man's land, turned him around. He was 0 boost. He was about his, he was in trouble there.
He was stuck. He was stuck. There was nowhere to go in that spot. Backwards, turned away from the front of the net. Ball looming over your head. No boost to speak of, and having another solid shooter clamoring in is always going to be dangerous. As Karsune Miku, he's really hunting for that double. Uzon gets the reset. Wanted to try and dunk that one off Aquasteer or double, but Syracuse do ultimately bring themselves away. But you can see Texas A&M, they are getting more and more confident as time goes on.
Okay, Uzon's going to be fun to watch this season. He's very good, it looks like. I don't know if it's just he's having himself a series, or if we're about to witness a really good season here for A&M, as Uzon's offensive capabilities have been nothing short of incredible. The dunk on target's going to be good.
And I feel like we've seen this so many times. This one a little bit more flashier, but Karsune Miku infiltrating the defense. A great late 50 off the reset, and Better in Stereo there to just push it across the goal line to extend the lead.
I mean, if you're Syracuse here, what do? You're ranked 8 going into this season. You open up week 1 in an 0-2 hole, now down 2-0 in game 3, facing a sweep where everything just feels like it's going wrong.
Well, I think the biggest thing is you need to shape up, but Texas A&M are having an absolute field day. There's still half this game left. 2-goal lead. Definitely not the most solid lead you will see in Rocket League, but Texas A&M are playing like they're up 10.
I mean, they were just freestyling off the ceiling there. And it's only 2-0.
I mean, credit where credit's due, and it seems like they can turn in another just fine as Better in Stereo is able to pick this one up again. It was Karsune Miku who got it in close, and Better in Stereo there as Uzon was also lurking around the front for bumps.
I mean, they can do no wrong. It feels like 3-0, 2:08 to play in game 3. Still all in the hands of A&M, and Syracuse's offense has just gone cold, and it's Uzon back alive again by his lonesome. He'll make it another save here in Syracuse's offense. It just really felt the wrath of how good of a defender Uzon has been tonight.
And ultimately have not been able to push in too much, and I mean, we've really just seen everything show up and show out from the Aggies in this one. Better in Stereo has been a great cleanup man, and maybe not in that case, as didn't get too much power behind that shot. We've seen Karsune Miku be a great playmaker as Uzon just lifts this one to the goal line. No one left there. Karsune Miku, who is lurking off the back foot and ceiling, and it just kind of drops in.
I mean, yeah, again, A&M coming off the momentum we talked about pregame before we kicked off. You're playing with momentum off of a win over over UCF in game 5, which again, for me, doesn't really move the needle much. But, now you do this to Syracuse, who's ranked 8th in the country at the moment. This win moves the needle for me. And if they get this one done in 3, I mean, this could be a really, really, really good season for A&M for what's to come.
Oh, 100%. I mean, this is the best A&M have looked in my eyes. I mean, this new roster is so incredibly strong, and again, it looks like they're playing on easy mode right now as they're just team bumping each other, going for freestyles, pre-jumping off the ceiling. It does not matter, as they seem to know they can do no wrong, and when you feel that, it really can show in your play. As Uzon left in the 3v1, he'll just retreat. This one pinched across. Niels is lurking. Demos traded, and Niels might have a late double here, shut down by Karsune Miku, and Aquasteer not getting much behind that, and the Aggies sweep it away to the other side. Karsune Miku wants to finally put that double away. The 50 can't fall through.
And Niels new to the roster this season, replacing Gavilon at Syracuse, and it's going to take time for this roster to kind of get used to each other, I'm sure, and they're probably going to feel the same struggles that Akron might early on in this semester in CRL competitions, with Patty now replacing Milio. But again, this is a series where things just didn't go your way, and you're to get ready and get better, as Cincinnati's still to come at number 11 later on this week. That's another top 11 matchup, and it's going to be very challenging for Syracuse if these struggles continue there.
Yeah, and the Aggies, on the other hand, this is an incredible way to start. You take down UCF, and then you get this kind of win to extend your season 2-0 early on, and they looked unbeatable in this series.
I mean, Karsune Miku talked a lot in the offseason. He might have been right. He might know ball.
I think the confidence was definitely warranted, as this was an incredible showing. You finish it off with a 4-0 shutout over Syracuse in game number 3. What a victory. They are going to be on the prowl.
Well, number 21 A&M picks off number 8 Syracuse and a 3-0 clean shutout sweep. I mean, what better way to really start your season down 2-0, and you pick up a top 10 win alongside that as well. We'll see how far Syracuse fall in the rankings next Monday, but A&M, 2 big wins. I mean, what more can you do here in week 1?
Nothing at all. They're just going to be looking to keep it rolling. Said conference play, I believe they will start by taking on Georgia and Kentucky in the first week of conference play. So that'll be fun to see how they do, how TJ is able to face off against these Aggies. And I might have to send a little bit of warning to DJ TJ, because this was a scary looking team.
And that feels like a week to me where, more than likely they should beat Kentucky. More than likely.
Yeah.
But the Georgia game is interesting because, TJ's back in the roster now after missing a semester from his transfer from Concord. But now you look at the Georgia roster again. It's an upgrade from to TJ, but the question is, it's early in the season. How well is the roster adjusted again? Can they hang with A&M early on? We'll have to wait and see next week.
Yeah, that's going to be the big question. I, for one, am so excited to see him back on the pitch. It was always a pleasure getting to talk and work with TJ, but then also getting to cast him, see him play for Georgia, see him play for the Bulldogs, and now that he's back, it's just going to be a ton of fun.
Well, we're going to go to break. When we come back, Hexie, Joe, and Lost will put their friendship aside for a top 25 matchup as Maryland takes on Louisiana after the break.